Do you want to have the ability of the space stone to be able to transport yourself away from your experience of pain, stress, or anxiety? Do you think this would allow you to have a better sleep tonight? Well, watch this video where I'll guide you through how to unlock that power of the space stone within you and how it's going to help you have a great sleep tonight too. Hi, I'm Daniel Dagenart from the Rethink Pain Workshop, and I'm a hypnophysio who geeks out on any pop culture healing references and how I can use them to heal myself and others. Let's get into this week's edition, the Space Stone. The Space Stone grants the person who's using it absolute control over space itself, and is primarily used to open different portals to other locations and can even allow for this interdimensional travel. And that's what I'm going to teach you to do today. Now, in history as well as science fiction, there's lots of examples of this transportation in space. There's the ideas of astral projection. You see it in Doctor Strange and how he's able to project in this astral form outside of his body. And it's something that there is a bit of research to support this ability to be able to connect with other spaces outside of yourself. And there's been lots of people doing it over millennium and can really tap into this ability. Now, there's also this quantum feeling or theory of connectedness. This idea that from the Big Bang, all of the atoms in the universe are connected, and that's how we can connect with other people and places, and how we can transport our mind and body to it. There's lots of people that just simply talk about out-of-body experiences, especially near-death experiences, where they simply seem to be outside of their body. Or sometimes this can happen even in meditative or hypnotic experiences too. And if you're not expecting it, it can be quite sudden and interesting, scary. But if you're doing it with intention and starting to understand how that works within your mind and body, then it can be a pretty powerful experience. You also have this idea of lucid dreaming. When you're dreaming and you're able to take control over your experience of your dream, or simply daydreaming, where I guarantee everyone is connected with this, where you're just sitting and all of a sudden your mind starts wandering until someone's like, hey, Daniel, come back, Earth to Daniel. You even have that saying, Earth to your name, Earth to Daniel. It's reconnecting you back to this space because you were off somewhere else. Now, I don't know what theory is correct. I don't know what of all of what I just said is true or not. But what I do know is we have this ability to disconnect from our current body in some way. Whether it's just in our mind and we're focusing our awareness in a different space, or we're actually moving to a different space, I'm not sure. But this is something that can be used to help to reduce pain and to improve how you feel. Justine Lett, the owner of Hypnosis New Zealand, once told me over a discussion at a pub that many of the hypnotic techniques that she's learned over the years simply have this idea of taking whatever emotion, sensation, feeling that is unhelpful, unnecessary, that the person wants to change, and moving it outside of that space. Whether it's outside of their body or moving it to a different part of their body, or outside to a different plane, space, time, whatever it ends up being, if you take that feeling, move it outside, change it over there, and then replace it back into the body, you can improve how you feel. And I think that's a really cool thing to recognize. Even with physiotherapy, if you go in and lie on a table, sometimes I've had people fall asleep, or may say after a session of manual therapy when I was doing a bit more of that in the past, and talk about, oh man, I just felt like I was off in la la land. And I was able to manipulate and move their body in a way that allowed them to transport their mind to somewhere else. And then once they returned, they had something changed. And I think whether you do it with intention from your mind or your body, there's something about this disassociation from your current state to somewhere else, especially when you do it with control and in a safe and easy way. Now, if you want to learn how to do this yourself, I like to know a little bit more about what's happening in the brain when you're doing these things as well. I like the model, it's called the triune model. I talk about it in some of the presentations on my YouTube page. This idea that we have three parts of the brain that develop: our primitive brain, our emotional and memories. There we go. Memories part of the brain, and then our thinking kind of neocortex brain. And if we have those three main parts of the brain that develop, we have two loops: a pain survival loop and a thriving loop. And any stress, anxiety, fear, frustration, pain is all in these dense networks in our brain, in these pain survival loops. And any of the things that we do that we love, we enjoy, that la la land or daydreaming, is all in that thriving loop, because in those moments, no matter how brief they are, you aren't experiencing that pain, stress, or anxiety. So that's where I want to go and engage. And if we were looking at your brain from a functional MRI, we'd be seeing that when you go to daydream, or if someone who's trained in astral projection is able to go to that space, or if you're simply dreaming, you'll be turning on different parts of the brain than you would those pain, stress, and anxiety loops. And that's important, because if you're not turning on the pain, stress, and anxiety loops, or the frustration and those parts of the brain that are associated with the negative things you want to overcome, then you're making a change. And if you start with that experience, move to the thriving loop, and then go back and notice what has changed, it can be very powerful. Now, you can go off and daydream. I don't mind that. I think that's a great thing to just turn off the brain, and often the brain does it when you need to anyway. But if you want to tap into a way to disassociate and to be able to change any pain, stress, feeling that you want to change and come back to your body right now, then I'll guide you through a hypnotic process. Now, this is something that is my own little space teleportation process in the mind, and I want you to make sure you're not operating any heavy machinery or doing something that you can't have your total focus in this space. Because just like daydreaming, if you're snapped out of it, then you can lose that joy of just being off where nothing disturbs or bothers you. For this, in a moment, I'm going to get you to look off up into space and then bring your eyes back down. And you're going to do that 3 times when I ask you to do that. And that space might be anywhere up above you, because this is part of that idea of going up into outer space, to go into that portal of your mind, go to a place where nothing disturbs and bothers you. So I want you to just simply look up to a space when I ask you in a moment. So you can take that first look up and then bring it back. And notice that your eyelids will just start to get a little bit of a flicker, a little bit more relaxed. On the second one, they're going to get even more tired and relaxed, that they'll just start to close. And on the third look, they're going to just close, tired and relaxed. As you look up for the second time, staring off into that space in the distance, notice how those eyes just become more relaxed, that they just want to close a little bit more as you bring them back to look at me, feeling that relaxation over your body. As you look up one last time, and those eyes just don't even want to be open. As you focus off into that space where nothing disturbs you, nothing bothers you, the eyelids will just naturally close now. And as those eyes close, you can relax your head to a comfortable position. And in a moment, you can try to open those eyes and find that they just feel more relaxed and more in control in that space without having them open. So you can try to open, blink the eyebrows up and down, and then just relax, stop trying, and then just enjoy this space and time. And as you connect with that space, I want you to imagine that you're floating up, out of your body, up through the sky, up into outer space, having a nice protective either astronaut suit or color or something to keep you safe. And as you go up through that space, I want you to imagine that there's a portal. And right in the center of that portal, this interdimensional portal, that can take you to that space where nothing disturbs you and nothing bothers you. I want you to imagine right in the center of that portal is any of the experience of pain, stress, or anxiety that you want to be free of. Because as you pass through that portal and go through to that space, you'll have to be brave, because with any interdimensional transportation, you'll experience that pain, that stress, or anxiety just for a moment, a millisecond, before you're transported off into that space where nothing disturbs you, nothing bothers you. And I'm going to make a noise, zoop, in a moment, and that's when you're going to be transported right through that portal to a different place and time. Ready? Zoop! Right through that portal into that space and time where nothing disturbs you, nothing bothers you. You may notice the people that are around you that you love, the faces of the people that you love. Notice that love showering you from the top of your head down to your toes. And as you do, breathe in that love, that connection, as your mind just goes blank to that space where nothing disturbs you, nothing bothers you. And for some, it may just be that emptiness, that blackness where there's nothing there except that ability to be free and calm as you enjoy that peace. But for others, it might be an actual space and time. And whatever it is for you, I'm going to give you a few moments to enjoy that now. As you follow my voice, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in and out. And at the end of that breath, I want you to say in your mind the word peace. And as you do, as you say that word peace, it anchors in this experience so that anytime you come back to this space and time, it'll be easily done just by saying that word in your mind, peace. You can take that breath in now, building that experience, that powerful calm and peace as you breathe out, saying the word in your mind, peace. And as you do, it's anchoring this experience so that anytime you want, simply take a breath, say the word peace, and come back to this moment, this space, through that portal in your mind. Now I'd like you, on the count of 5, slowly float back down into your body, making all the changes at a molecular, cellular, genetic level to transport yourself back through that portal in a way that is comfortable and safe to you, being free of any of that useless and unnecessary pain, stress, or anxiety. That every time that you go through that portal, it allows you to have that freedom no matter which way you go through it. Because the portal is the powerful part. It allows you to be able to change that experience. And on the count of 5, you'll be back to your body, opening your eyes, feeling rested, relaxed, just like you've had a rest, a massage, or hot bath, so that you'll be able to sleep better tonight and wake up tomorrow feeling refreshed. Using this to do that even easier. 1, coming to the surface 3 times, more at peace, before 5. Wide awake now. Well done. Tune into your body. Notice how you feel. That ability to go to a different space and the process that hypnosis provides, that I don't know if you actually astral projected to a different space just then and now, or if you simply allowed your awareness to go to a space where you could make a change, or if it was none of the above, and yet sometimes it doesn't matter if you simply get the result that you're looking for. If you simply feel a little bit more rested, a little bit more relaxed and at peace, and can continue to go back to that, just like tonight, you can go through that portal, or just simply say the word peace in your mind and continue to take the breath and refocusing back on that experience. Do you have a favorite TV show, movie, or comic book that has a healing ability that you want to experience? Well, comment below and I may make a future episode of it. Or just let me know how much better you feel after watching this episode. And of course, like and subscribe to get more of these on a weekly basis. And next week, I'm going to be teaching you how to unlock the soul stone inside of you, to connect with that essence of who you are. It's going to be a cool one. And if you want to watch my most powerful pop culture healing episode, be sure to check out the Force Healing episode to be able to reduce stress, pain, or anxiety right now. Because the more we all heal, the more we all heal.